Hello there, fellow modelers. Steve here. And it's been quite a while since I've made a video. Judging by me channel that I was checking last night, it was 3 months. Quite a while. Because a lot of people, I got a message from Warren Blanche on Facebook. Hi there, Warren. Are you still modelling? I haven't seen a video from you for ages. I sent him a message back, says I'll probably be making one this week. Look forward to it. And also Model Art 63. Hi there, Michael. 633. He was inquiring about whether I was going to make a video. So it's been quite a while. I've been busy with other things, fitting a bit modelling in, and there's some of the kits that I made in my last video, which was 3 months ago, which was the Dakota finish. That I had with my group build. There's a few kits on there that were in the halfway stage. Well, they're now finished and I'll show them to you in 2 seconds. And I might have some acquisitions that I'll dig out what I've bought at various model shows. And there was a couple of kits that I did on my last video. I've never started them yet. That was the HMS Iron Duke and the Bedford QE, the Bedford MWD, which I've never started yet. I haven't even did a review for them, but I will do them. I'll get them started sometime this year. So we'll start off first with the first of the kits that were in the last video. That was, I think it was the underside done was painting, and I'd had 1 coat of the camouflage on, but it's now finished. So I'll just get that and move my camera. And it is that one, which is the, I hope that's the light's right. Switch that off. That might be a bit better. It's the Voltee Vengeance. It's the old frog kit. Let's see if that's a bit better. Ah, that's better. I'm kneeling on the floor now. Which is the old frog kit. And I've just found, I finished that months ago. And it's in the markings of an aircraft of the Royal Australian Air Force. And it was a basic kit to build, obviously, with it being old. Early 70s, I think, maybe late 60s. And I liked it that much. I mean, I got this one at Telford last year, and I liked it that much that I went and got another one off eBay. It was an aircraft that was often overlooked, mainly because it was only flown in the Far Eastern Theatre by the RAF and the Royal Australian Air Force. I'm not sure whether the Americans flew it, because it's obviously an American designed aircraft. The camouflage was put on with my airbrush, and it's worked out quite well. Here's a bit of silvering on the decals, because I'm using decal fix. It seems to be working, but on there, some of them I'm cutting round a lot to see if I can diminish the silvering, because it does look unsightly. Especially when I did a Wellington, was last year, and obviously with the black undersides and the sides, you can see it there with the Wellington being an old kit, and it looked terrible. But I did a bit, you can't really see it, a bit of detail in the cockpit. Obviously with the classic greenhouse canopy you can't see anything really. You can see a bit in there where the machine gun is in the seat. Now I didn't put the pilots in because the pilots were crap, rubbish, so I left them. But I enjoyed building that. It was something different, an often overlooked aircraft, the Voltee Vengeance. Right, what have I got next? Over there, and it's this one, which is the finished article for Model Art 633's Spanish Civil War group build. Hi there, Michael, watching your video last night. Some good builds you've got going on there. Good progress with the Mauritania, because I built the Mauritania, and ignore the pilot's head and the plant pot. There's the Mauritania there. I built that last year. It's a beautiful kit to build, even though it's an old Airfix model. It was a classic ocean liner. It's a beautiful ship, locally built of course. So good luck with that, and I hope you do a good job of it, but you probably will anyway. Well, anyway, right, we'll get back to that. The Heinzel, I think it's a HS-123 in Spanish nationalist markings. The Condor Legion, which is really a cover for the German Luftwaffe. Now the camouflage, which is the classic splinter of, I think it's 3 different colours, and obviously with the blue underneath. With it being such a small aircraft, a small model, I decided to paint it by hand with the acrylic paints rather than use my airbrush. I mean, forgetting a little bit like here, it would take loads of blue tack or masking, so I decided to give it a go, and it's worked out quite well. I'm quite pleased with it. And I've put the pilot in there. What was that? The pilot's in there. I'm getting to grips with pilots. I'm not really into figures. But the plane is, it's quite good. The old Airfix kit. Give you a quick look underneath. The light blue, and there's 2 sets of bombs. 2 bombs on under each wing. And I think that's a fuel tank. It looks like a fuel tank underneath the centre line. It was a very neat aircraft to build for a biplane. I had no problem putting the top wing on. Just fitted, plunked on, and that was it. Because I did build a submarine Walrus a couple of years ago, and it was an absolute pain in the backside. Nothing lined up. The engine didn't line up. Oh. I'm very reluctant to try to pick it up now because it'll just fall to bits. So it's over there on the shelf on the aircraft catapult. I think I built that for somebody's group build. I can't remember what though. But when I was watching your video last night, Michael, you had got all the photos what people had sent in of the builds, and you're just gonna have time to put together a slideshow. So I'll look forward to that. So that was me entry for your Spanish Civil War group build. Put that back over there. And this one is a little project that I had, and I think it was half done on the last video. Which was that. And I put it on a little diorama with a couple of figures. It's the Airfix 1/72nd scale F-105D Thunderchief, known as the Thud, the radar suppression aircraft. And this was a great aircraft to build. No problem. What's that? No problems with it. And I did the Vietnam era 3-tone camouflage with my airbrush, and it's worked out quite well. I'm very pleased with it. Where's me pointer? You've got dark green there, light green and tan, and grey underneath obviously. And I did a bit of detail in the cockpit. I don't know whether you can see it. I think I've put some... Did I put any seat belts in? No, I didn't. And it's got a shark's mouth on, which looks good. And I've had them 2 guys for ages. With the pilot there, with his Magnum style moustache, and the ground crew looking up to see if everything's okay before he flies off. His co-crew member is nowhere to be seen. He's probably on the toilet somewhere or finishing off his coffee or whatever. This was a squadron. It's in the markings of a squadron that was based in Thailand about 1972, I think. but I was reading up on the history of it, and the Thunderchief was originally designed as a tactical nuclear bomber. It was based in Western Europe, but it came into its own in the Vietnam War, and especially with the radar suppression version. But it was very susceptible to attacks by MiGs because it was never designed as a dogfighter, even though I think it's got 2 missiles. The air-to-air missiles there on the outer pylon of the wing, and it accounted for the most losses among pilots of the US Air Force until it was finally replaced by a Wild Weasel version of the Phantom. I think that was the F-4D. But a good aircraft, nice plane to build, couldn't fault it. Put that back over there. And these two, well, one was originally the Hornet that I was building, that was eventually going to be a Royal Navy version, but I decided to build another one. So the one that I decided to build, I got another kit because it was basically a simple kit to make. It only has 4 sections. So that's the Royal Navy version now, which is a what if. Obviously the white's underneath, but it's all covered, and I'm going to get some dark slate grey, I think the colour is. It'll be in the same scheme as the Phantom FG1, and I've got a variety of different naval air squadrons from markings of Seahawks and things like that that I can put on, just as a what if really. But the one that I replaced, I decided to do it in a US Navy version, which I've started putting the markings on now. Just 2 on the fins, on the inside of the fins. But it's going to be the colourful US Navy markings of the 70s. And there's pilots in there. They're out of an old Intruder. I think the squadron is VFA 32, the Swordsman. There's the markings of it. That's it. I got these off a F-14 Tomcat that I made about 20 odd years ago. I've just decided to adapt it. That is probably a what if as well. But those two are coming along good. I'm pleased with how these turning out. As you probably know, I like carrier aircraft. Now, what next? I've started this Spitfire, which is it's an FR Mark 14. It was based in the Far East about 1946. And as you can see, I've just got there. It's just primed at the moment. It's coming along fine. No problem building that. Panel lines look good as well. They should be good with a wash. What else have I got going? Ah, this, which is a kit I bought off one of the lads at my model club. I think he sent us I don't know what make it is. That's the... It's a Japanese Army Ki-100. My Japanese isn't very good. Oshima. And it didn't come with any markings, so I'll have to modify it. But it's went together quite well. Basic kit, I think it's only got 3 sections. And I'm doing the tail in the design of this, which is an L0 model I built, God, about 30 years ago. You which is like that, which was taken off the front of an old issue of a commando book. Just something a bit different. Since it didn't have any markings, I'm just going willy-nilly with the markings and the camouflage. And I might do a bit of weathering on that and try, because I was watching Gary from Making Models Again. He's just did a, hi there Gary, nice to meet you, it's the Northern Model Show. Had a good old chat with you there. He's did a Tony, or a Hein Tony, whatever, KI61, and he's got the well, it's bare metal where people have climbed on it, and like it's really well weathered. I might have a gun at that. It's just an experiment really, but that's coming along. I've got to get some orange paint, so it'll be like that. This is an old Matchbox kit, it's years old that. And what else have I got on? Oh, I've got a Tomcat as well. An Airfix Tomcat F-14, which is on there. That's what the Intruder is supposed to look like when it's finished. Then also another kit that I've got on, which is a Kitty Hawk. Now this was originally had the box art with the flying tigers on, and it had P40B. Well, if you judge, where's me pointer? I've lost it. If you judge by the nose, that isn't the nose of a P40B, that's the nose of a P40D. So I'm turning this into, I picked this up at the Northern Model Show, I think. I'm turning it into that. And I got the markings for it. Where are they? There's the markings I've got for it, with the skull. I was going to do it in a Royal Australian Air Force version, which I think is on there, Cleopatra 3. But I thought, no, I'll do the skull. There's also a New Zealand version you can build out. Kelly decal sheet, that. It's from a firm called Aeromaster Decals. Quite good. And that would be it there. And that's just been primed at the moment. And something else I've, well, this is an ongoing thing, it should have been finished about 3 years ago, which I did mention in my last video. It's a B-24 Liberator I'm doing as a Coastal Command one for the RAF. And the white is done there, but it's all taped up, and I did the grey last Sunday, medium grey. And I did experiment with panel lines, and if you look, where's my pointer? You can see they've come through a bit, so it'll be weathered, obviously with it being a Coastal Command aircraft. It didn't stop pristine very long. And that's it for what I've got on. Nothing else. Try not to do too much, otherwise I'll be here all day. Back up there. That's fallen down. Right, acquisitions. What have I bought? Right, now here's a little tool that I picked up. Sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? It's for aerosols. You get aerosols, that's an aerosol, and obviously if you're spraying it, it's really for undercoats. I mean, there's a lot of lads use aerosols for different colours, not just undercoats, and I have done really, but you tend to spray and it doesn't seem to have very much control over it. But I spotted this. It was actually in an advert at Lidl, which was this, which is a handy little tool. It fits over there. When it'll go on. There. Lock it. I'm not going to spray it because it'll go all over the place. And it has a trigger, so you can regulate it, and it's brilliant, really good, because I've sprayed things and they've tended to run, but with a trigger on you can as little or as much paint as you want, and it's a really good, that's one of the best things I've ever bought, that, as far as like modelling tools are going. And there was only about £3 I think, £3.50 off eBay. I've never seen anybody else use one of them. Right, I'll just show you one more thing. No, I'm not. It's drying at the moment. It's the A6 Intruder that was on there that I did for Facebook, a Vietnam group build. It's got a wash on at the moment. I'm trying to weather it, but I'll leave it there and I'll show you it obviously when it's done. Right, acquisitions. I got these at our local show, which is the Northern Model Show, which is where I met Gary. Like your, oh god, what was it? Your Thunder Flash, or oh god, I can't remember what you make. Thunderchief with the runway mat. That was a really good build. That I like that, and hopefully I might run into you at Edinburgh. Right, this is, I got this, the markings, for a Royal Australian Navy A4E Skyhawk, and I found this, which is a 1/48 scale that has the markings, which is a Skyhawk. Now I've got a Skyhawk in an Airfix, but this one had the Royal Australian Navy, which is right, I'll bang that. And how much was it? It was only £10 for a 1/48 scale, and it's quite big. Quite a big aircraft. It has a choice of 3. What was it? I think there's about 2 or 3. There's one Royal Australian Navy and about 2 or 3 US Navy versions. So it'll be interesting to build that with the Royal Australian Navy, which is an air-on that's very much overlooked when they used to use carriers. It was HMS Melbourne. So that was that I bought. And another one I bought was another Tomcat, which was £8, and that's got a choice of about 5 markings, I think. Colourful markings. That's the Sundowners VF-111. That's a very good detail in that. And this one I picked up just by chance, which was how much? £5. A bit of an ancient blast from the past, a Handy Page Halifax. When I was buying this, one of the lads in our model club says, he says, oh, can I have a look at it? I says, oh, I can. He says, oh, it looks good, like, but the markings are crap, which they are. He says, oh, well, I'll try and put them on the windowsill, and he says, I might have to get some more. But when I've looked at it, I might build it as the civilian airliner type, the handley page Halton in Boac Markins, because I've been reading about it in an Airfix boot that I've got, that you can convert certain kits into whatever. I built one of these when I was a kid years ago. Something else that I picked up, which was, oh god, I can't remember, small ship model, the Ticonderoga class guided missile cruiser, and you've got a choice of how many markings? You can either build the Ticonderoga, the Yorktown, the Vincennes, the Valley Forge, the Thomas S. Gates, the Bunker Hill, the Mobile Bay, Antonium, the Lady Gulf, or the San Jacinto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ships you can build there. Nice neat ship. US Navy cruiser. And the last one I bought, which is another Tomcat, I've just got that on eBay. Another 1/48 scale, which I got basically because it's got the markings of VF-84. The Jolly Rogers, was I considered as the best Tomcat marking squadron, the best Tomcat squadron markings ever. I remember seeing that in the film The Final Countdown. So I've got one of them I built years ago, but it's looking a bit tatty now, and I figured how much I paid for that. And something else I've got, which I got at the Northern Model Show, which is that. It's a base, but it's got a seascape on, so I'm going to use that to mount the HMS Iron Duke when I get round to building it. But I thought that was original, that. It did have a, I forget what one it was, I think it was a King George V class battleship that was mounted on it, and it looked great. He says it's better, because I bought another one, a carrier deck, I think HMS Victorious. But it'll be original, that. I'll use that. So that's me done for tonight. I'll upload this. It'll probably come online tomorrow. Something like that. So I'll get back to finishing off them kits, and I'll obviously put another, I'll try and put another video on, not 3 months time. Try and get a one in about a couple of weeks, with hopefully the Iron Duke started, because all these will be finished. Right, so that's me done for tonight. I'd like to wish all you guys happy modelling, have fun, and I'll see yous on the next video. Bye!